And following that release by the police, we broke the story here first. And since Saturday, we've been continuing on that tangent, bringing to you in-depth analysis of what the police so far have unraveled. Kojo Yankson and the rest of the team, complemented by Ina Talia-Kwanza in the metropolis of Takoradi, have been bringing to you the latest. But in the meantime also, we had some great interactions over the period. This morning, we have the families of the missing girls convening a press conference or interaction today. As a prelude to that, we will have them in the studio. But before we do that, we will also want to bring you up to speed as we recap some of the interactions we had with some of the key personalities in the investigations to make sure that the girls are brought back. Well, in the meantime, as you watch and also listen on and you would want to comment, make sure that you do that with the hashtag BringBackAtadi JoyNews and AM Show. Well, let's do a recap. We bring you an interaction Kojo Yankson had with the Western Regional Minister, Kwabena Otre Dakumensa.
I wonder how the news hit you as the head of the Regional Security Council when the information came out that this evidence had been uncovered.
We're all shocked because naturally we're all expecting to send the children back to their parents. So we're very shocked. In fact, I was in Accra, but I had to rush back quickly to Takoradi yesterday to get a briefing from my police people and the BNI. And as far as I'm concerned, what they've seen just pass. And therefore, I believe that everybody should be cautious and should calm down so that we await the final investigation. Then we can look at it. In fact, when the president was here just about 2 weeks ago, this issue was one of the major issues that we discussed when he came. In fact, he even made a statement on it when we were in Axim, because that was our first program in the morning. So I believe that is something that government is very concerned about. More so when everybody knows that the Takoradi area for a very long time has been a very peaceful area. Western region holds the natural resources of this country, more than 50% comes from here. So as administrators, we always want to see this place being quiet and safe for everybody. And therefore, we want to make sure that we come to a proper conclusion so that everybody will be happy about what the investigation has gone so far.
Now, the statement that came out last night from RegSec was focusing particularly on calling for calm in the community. Tell me why the Security Coordinating Council felt the need for such a statement.
Basically, this is a very sensitive issue, not only for Takoradi, everywhere in this country. After this issue, we've had the Kumasi one, we've had even one in the market circle that the police had been able to uncover and recover those for their appearance. And therefore, this particular one, which actually started the national, more like a campaign, is something that's very sensitive, and we want to make sure that there's calm before and after, because whoever perpetrated it differently would have to be dealt with the full rigors of the law. And you know that so far the police have been able to arrest 3 people. And for me, I believe that that's the mandate we're giving them to do. But since it's not a finality to the whole issue, we need to be circumspect in everything that we do concerning this issue. Because I believe that there will be no purpose if we've not concluded it and there are reprisal attacks for even more people to die. Then what would we have achieved as a human race? Okay, so I believe that we need to be careful. Because if you even look at some of the people who have been arrested, it's not only Ghanaians that have been arrested. If you are not careful and we take the law into our own hands, you might also end up also being charged again for taking the law into your own hands. And therefore, I strongly believe that we want this place to be safe for investment, safe for learning, safe for playing. And therefore, we should allow the law to take its own course. Whoever perpetrated, naturally, the law is there to deal with that person. And therefore, there's no point for us to take the law to our own hands. And then we have to give that experience in this region as a safe region. And therefore, there was a need to put in that. And also to calm the parents, to let the parents know that we are with them. We've been with them from the beginning of the problem till now. And we are prepared to go the long haul with them and want them to have patience with government and then by extension to the police to make sure they do their work and do it fully for the good people of this country.
Is this, you mentioned one of the reasons for the statement is to make sure that there are no reprisal attacks. Is that a real concern of the RegSec? Do you have some intelligence to suggest that that is a threat that is imminent?
Oh, I mean, if you go to the internet, you see how people do. If you listen to people on radio, how they respond to this particular issue. Naturally, we are also human beings, and therefore, the RegSec and the administration always see this sensitivity, and it's very important that we calm them and give them that confidence that we are there for them for the long haul.
Now, you talked about how you want to reassure the families that you are there for them. When we spoke to the family members, some of them, especially the Quaysons, much as they welcomed the briefing from the police, they were also not very happy with the performance of the police throughout this period. I don't know what is RegSec's view of how this investigation has panned out from all the way back in August last year till now.
I believe that right from the beginning, looking at the date that these issues were reported and the family's own input, they've consistently said that the police didn't act quickly on the issues. And therefore, naturally, they have a reason to doubt maybe the police procedures. But state institutions and the law grind slowly. So sometimes, if you've not been dealing with it for a very long time as a normal Ghanaian, I mean, a lot of Ghanaians don't even go to the court and go to police station. So when these things happen, they always hold them in high esteem till they have an encounter with them, and then sometimes they feel that the process is slow. And I'll give you one typical example. Somebody stole government land, and the matter was sent to court. As I speak to you, we've not gone to court to start the real case. We are still talking about technicalities, more than 3 years or 4 years. So naturally, that happened to me as an MP, a public official. It's taking me 4 years. This is how sometimes the system runs like. So all that I can ask of them is patience, so that the process can come to a certain conclusion. Then we can all be satisfied that this is what has happened, this is the answer, and then we'll look for a way out going forward. So I believe that the only request is that they should be patient for the police to do their work, because this is something that has caught the attention of national institutions. I mean, from Takrady all the way to Accra, even international, Interpol and all that. So I believe that that alone should assure them that government is keenly following the matter and will make sure the right things are done.
I mean, you give an interesting example of your own, struggles with the system. Is that not rather more of a supporting statement that the system is broken?
No, not at all. What we are saying that the law grinds slowly. It happens. It happens once.
In some cases, though, it's pretty fast. For example, when they were looking for the kidnapped Canadians, the law moved fast.
Before the kidnapped Canadians, there was also kidnapping in my constituency, Takrady constituency. Within 2 days, they had arrested the person. Yeah, so it depends on how quick the information got to the police and then how they responded. That's why I'm saying that if you have not dealt with a state institution before, sometimes you have this problem. Now, I gave a typical example of mine to show what it is. Okay, so these are the issues that we need to appreciate. But for this one, everybody in Ghana now knows that this has caught the attention of the president himself, attention of the national security minister, and everybody. And therefore, this is not something that, and it's something that has even got into cabinet. So this is not an issue that nobody's following. Just that when it's an investigation, sometimes it takes time. I mean, typical investigations sometimes takes time, especially when the crime had been committed for some time before the police got into it. So I believe that is the way we should be looking at.
So how has the police explained this to RegSec? What has caused this investigation to take time?
You know, when I start answering the questions like this, then we'll be bringing back all the problems we've had with this particular issue. So I'll be happy not to go there.
That is fine. Let me ask you about this. This is since the arrest of the suspect, this is the first time that the police has done this sort of search at his premises. What is it that, I mean, what in what the police have told RegSec, what is it that brought about the need for a search on this occasion in his home?
I strongly believe that the police did some work before the gentleman himself was arrested. The police did some work before the guy actually pointed out to the second accused person. The police did some work before this third guy was arrested around Togo or something. So naturally, some work has gone in. And therefore, it's out of this same work that they have to go to these premises and search the way they came to search. Because the first time, they were actually looking for live people. The search naturally will be different. If you are looking for a live person, you'll not be going into. But now, they've searched, put a lot of pressure on the guy to tell them a lot of things, for them to get at least 3 people who are supposed to be the main kingpins of the whole game. So naturally, new information has to be deduced. You cannot be giving the police old stories that you have given to them, that even they have even communicated system that has created problems for the communication wing of the police itself. So naturally, I believe that is part of the work they are doing. I believe that now that they've come to do this search and found some body part, let's give the police space to do the DNA and tell us whether it is what it is or it is not. Then we can move on. Because what I'm thinking in my head is that, so if it's not the children, it means that they've killed more people than we are taught. And that's very, very, very dangerous. So I strongly do believe that police is a professional institution. It's Ghanaian made. We should be able to allow them to succeed. And that is why I'm not going on that tangent of just blaming them. Yes, we might have our own difficulties with the police, but I believe that the best will definitely come out of them after this investigation.
Are you suggesting that the police are no longer looking for live people at this point?
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that all the time, when we started this whole thing, we said that they were here, they were there, they were in Kaswa, they were in Koforidua. You know all these stories. So let's wait for the police to finish their investigation, because I do believe that they are alive. As I sit here, I still do believe that they are alive, and I want them to do their DNA before I'm clear, before they tell me that they've come to a finality of the matter. Then I can take another decision.
So this came from information they got from the suspect?
Yes, that's what the police said. That's why they even said that they took the guy there to go and show them exactly what we're doing. So naturally it might be coming from them.
Okay, so what he said was, there are bodies in my house, or that the girls are in my house?
Basically, I think that's what they said.
The girls are in my house?
Yes, I think that's what they said.
So at this point, I mean, is it not unusual for it to take this long for the police to go and search the home of the suspect? Should it not have been done at the very beginning when he was arrested?
You know, the guy, to start with, is a liar. He kept telling lies from one stage to the another. I believe that if he had not been put under so much pressure, we wouldn't have even seen the other accomplice. And therefore, I believe that as far as the police can extract from him all these other criminals to come to one center for them to get this information, I believe that the police are doing a yeoman's job. It shows that the police can definitely get to the bottom of this matter for us.
At this point, the investigation turns into a forensic one, now that they have this evidence in hand. Are we equipped? Is the regional police equipped to do this?
I think there's a DNA, not regional, it's gone national, it's gone to Accra. DNA laboratory, we have a DNA laboratory in Accra, the police have that one. So they should be able to do it. And you know that somebody like former regional commander, Kofi, forgotten the name, is now in Accra now, Commissioner of Police, Kofi Bwache. He's a forensic expert, he's a biochemist like myself, before he did a lot. Yeah, so I know they have a lab like that. I think he told me those days. Yeah.
So from your last briefing, obviously you would have had an emergency briefing when this happened. What sort of timelines are we looking at for the way forward?
They didn't give me any timeline because the thing was going to happen in Accra. My regional commander is also followed up in Accra, and I believe that this coming week he'll be briefing me on what is happening, and I will communicate whatever comes out of the investigation.
Is there a plan to engage with the families?
Oh, definitely. We've been engaging them. Even yesterday, the police were there. So we'll be engaging them. Yes, we'll be engaging them seriously.
How about you personally?
Oh, yes, I'll be engaging them. Yes, I'll be engaging them. This week I'll be engaging them. Again, after the police one. Yeah.
Kobna Ochredaku-Mensah is the Minister for the Western Region, having that interaction with Kojo Yankson. But the police also say they expect to complete the DNA tests and other forensic investigations on the human parts found near the home of one of the key suspects in the kidnapping in Takoradi. Just within 4 weeks, a statement from the police read that they had discovered human parts at Kasaroro in Takoradi, and it was as a result of ongoing effort at examining several angles of the investigation. Claims that a confession or tip-off led to the discovery, according to the statement from the police, are untrue. On Saturday, 3rd August 2019, the police held discussions with families of the 3 missing girls in Takoradi to assist with DNA samples as part of the investigations, and the families are currently, according to the statements, cooperating with the police in this endeavor. The statement continues. The police administration assures all of covering all angles of the investigation, while it expects to conclude DNA tests within the next 4 weeks. The statement concludes. Well, we'll have to take a break. Again, we told you that we'll have some discussions with the families or some representatives of the families, because jointly they are convening a press conference to address some of the salient points they found a bit unnerving following that announcement by the police. But before we do all that, we'll have to take a break. When we come back, we'll do all that.
For the parent is sadness. Well, mine is not. It is anger. And I expect you to be angry. The kind of anger that is required for state agencies to act swiftly. In the meantime, we're still looking for the girls. See something, say something.
Imagine waking up one morning with a dream, with a hope, with an ambition. Maybe you just want to live your life. And then sometime during the day, somebody just kidnaps you and all these dreams are extinguished. This is what has happened to 3 young girls in the Sekeni Takoradi metropolis. Their families are agonizing, their communities are distraught, and the nation is seriously looking for them. But they may be alive. We need your help. If you see something, say something.
It's very disheartening, and it shouldn't happen. And so I'm asking that the authorities involved should make every effort to get our girls back.
Our thoughts and prayers at this moment are with the families of the victims, and we also call on the relevant state agencies to expedite action, double the effort to ensure the safe return of these girls.
Imagine the agony of losing a sister or a dear one. These are 3 mothers looking for 3 daughters. Where is the hope? Where is the love? Where is the ray of sunshine? We need to find our girls.
Bring back our tardy 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 girls.
So we saw that say I mean we do so we would not say I mean so no for me be my no
Bring back our tardy girls.
And just in 1 hour, 50 minutes, various people or spokespersons of the families of the 3 missing girls will be addressing a press conference right here in Accra. It's just close to the Kwame Nkrumah interchange area. Mr. Bix precisely is the venue. And I have some of the lead spokespeople right here in the studio as a curtain raiser for that press conference. And Michael Grant Hayford is a spokesperson for one of the families. And thank you for joining me.
You're
also
welcome.
one of the brothers of one of the victims, Priscilla Crunchy. Is here Michael? Also goes by the surname Crunchy. Good morning to you, Michael.
Good morning, sir.
But let me start with you. The significance of this press conference is to address what exactly?
At least to let the general public to know that the family don't agree to the information which is out there.
Okay, so particularly when you said the family don't agree, what exactly do you mean?
We are in this country. And then this incident, just recently incidents happened about the kidnapping issue. And then as a family, we tried all our possible best to get this guy arrested, which is Samuel Wilson. He managed to escape from the police custody. By running away from the police custody, he managed to get his attire, like the dress, and then his own phone. You and I know it's not possible that he can run away from police custody whilst the police are claiming that he managed to use axle blade to cut the window to, vanish from the custody. And then that same person managed to get his own phone.
You mean the phone and the dress?
And the dress.
Which were on him when he was brought in?
Yes. And then when he managed to run away, he managed to use that same phone that he was using in initial stage calling the families. He used that same phone to call the family, demanding money, telling us that he has used the police as a remote. That is what the Samuel Wilson told the family, that he used the police as a remote, so we don't need to rely on the police. The suspect is telling us that we shouldn't rely on the police.
And when was this?
That was initial stage.
Okay.
You see, and then the police people too, they have a divisional commander named by Oforidonko. And then the CID named by Ametepe. They were in charge of that central police station. And that suspect that we managed to arrest told us that before we will get our 3 lovely sisters, unless someone move all the way from Nigeria to Ghana, named by John. And then the police gave phone to the Samuel Wilson to communicate to that John that they have another victim. So the John should manage to come to Ghana for another victim. Then this John managed to move all the way from Nigeria to Ghana. And then the division commander named by Oforidonko confessed to us or told the family that the John that we are looking for, he is now in Ghana. So they are doing all their best to arrest that John. So the family were in the position by relying on the Ghana Police Service that in all costs they will arrest John for us. Then following day, then the John used the phone to call us that he's using the police people as a remote, so we shouldn't rely. Then we said, someone who is in police custody, how can he manage to use his own phone to call the family, demand and tell us that police is using them as remote and other stuff? We shouldn't rely on the police. So we're surprised. Then we try our possible best to rush to police station. When we went to the police station, we couldn't find the suspects. They told us that, he vanished. You see, and our point is that what stopped Oforidonko? What stopped him by managing to arrest that John? What stopped him? Even Lance Corporal can manage. Lance Corporal, he can manage to arrest someone who is moving from different country to our country. They couldn't arrest that John. Now we come up with demonstration, press conference here, and then we issue statements that they should arrest that John. And they managed to arrest that John. They were sending these people to court. And then they couldn't inform the family.
Now, Michael, this latest police statement and following the discoveries that have been made by the police, how do you, the families, now take it? And of course, we've had some comprehensive discussions with your sisters and your father especially on this subject.
Yes, we would say it's an unwelcoming one.
Why?
There has been instances where the National Security Minister, the Interior Minister, and the CID boss all said the girls are alive, they are safe. And I heard the National Security Minister say emphatically that the girls are not in Ghana, they are in a particular country and that they are safe. So it marvels us that all of a sudden the girls are dead and that they've rotten and it's gotten to their bone. We as a family, we can't fathom this. We don't understand it.
It's still a suspicion.
It's a suspicion. It's a suspicion. And for all you know, no one saw the said bones. No one managed to see it. My younger brother was around, but he claimed they were driven away. The civilians around were driven away to enable the police to do their work. So nobody could testify that the said bones, it is true they found it, they exhumed some bones from the said septic tank. So we don't agree with what the police is telling us.
But the thing is that nonetheless, you still have to cooperate with the police at the end of the day.
Exactly.
We're told that according to a statement that they have released, they want to take samples from the family for DNA matching with the remains that they've seen. What's the family's position on the subject?
Well, talking about cooperation, we've cooperated very well with the police since day one. When the guy escaped from the cell, no one knows how he was being arrested. No one knows that. We risked our life. It was midnight at around 12 p.m.
You mean one of those instances?
Yes. That we led the police to the scene. That is where the guy was hiding, his hideout. It was midnight. If we are not willing to cooperate, we wouldn't have risked our life that far. So we are cooperating. Except that this whole thing about they finding some bones or human remains, it's a bit fishy. Yesterday, I chanced on a news article on Northern Ghana website. Yes, they were talking about the suspect still going by his standard. The girls are alive and they are still in Nigeria.
But that is a news report.
That's a news report.
You only have to trust police sources, I think.
Well, we do trust the police, if I should say. But I think they should be more transparent. That is why we as a family, we are rejecting the advancement of the police to do it.
So does it mean that there will be no representatives or anybody from the family who can go forward and the samples will be taken for that? And what will be the reason?
It's not going to happen because in the first place, Brian Champon, the National Security Minister, he has come out by telling the general public that the girls are alive. Brian Champon. And then Madam CID, the CID boss, Madam Tiwa, she also come out by telling the general public that the girls are alive, they know where they are, and they will bring these girls back safely. And then the Minister for Interior, he also come out by saying that the girls are in the northern Nigeria, and then they will bring them back. And now the police in Takrady, the police team in Takrady, they are also saying that they have found a skeleton. So therefore, the four ranking members
are
saying
inconsistency.
Yes. You see, and then when you compare to this,
is that why you said that you are not going to cooperate with the police?
We don't know. We don't know the one who is incompetent and then super incompetent and then the competent. We don't know which is super incompetent. Either Madam Tiwa is competent or super incompetent or incompetent. We don't know. We don't know. Because now, if the police want the family to go by doing the DNA test, they should come out and tell us that me, Madam CID boss, I am the competent one. So go by my words.
So you don't know which of the institutions and the individuals to trust, those who are heading those institutions.
Yeah, exactly. I also
your last word before
I also go by what he's saying. You know, I personally trust the National Security Minister on this. I know they are credible people.
Mr. Abakandaba.
Mr. Brian Champon. I know he's a credible person. And I trust the National Security Minister, Mr. Kandapa. He's also credible. So since these two men who have credibility are saying emphatically, I overheard Mr. Champon saying it emphatically on Asempa FM, the girls are safe, they are alive. So how come the girls who are alive and he claimed they are not in Ghana, how come their bones were found in Ghana? That is our point.
You know what? The following day, this whole thing came out on Friday evening, and then Saturday, police came to the family by their numbers, about 40 police officers. They came to family to inform the family officially, and then we were able to ask some of the questions and other stuff so that we can get answers. And then these police people told us that they discovered this bone around 7 going. And then when you go to their website, they pasted this information on their website around 5 something. You see, they published this information that they are saying around 5 something. Oh. And when the official police, the Ghana Police Service came to the family to give the family as in official reports, they were able to tell us that they discovered this bone.
So again, all sorts of inconsistencies.
You see?
Exactly. Okay, so you address all these at the press conference.
Of course, yes.
We will be there and we'll carry it and we'll relay all this.